What's up, guys? This is TechnoViking23 coming to you today with another Raid Shadow Legends video. And in today we're going to be talking a little bit about the free-to-play area of the game, something I want to start focusing on a little bit more with some of my content. You guys know I do run the free-to-play series on the channel in addition to showing off some stuff from my main account now and then. But it seems like a lot of people are doing free-to-play series now, and some of the information that's coming out it's kind of mixed, and I'm afraid that some people who are really trying the game out for the first time and they wind up following some advice may or may not get led astray and kind of have a little bit of a fallout with the game. So I want to kind of start putting out some videos talking about some things to avoid and the path you should kind of take going through free-to-play. Now, I'm not a free-to-play expert by any means, but I think I do fairly decently for myself. I have the main free-to-play series that I do on the channel, and we also have this new account that we just made right around Christmas time, and we're actually going to get High Katoon tomorrow for our 30-day login reward. So I'm probably actually going to do a video on High Katoon as we gear her on the free-to-play account. I know I did a guide on her a little bit ago, but I want to kind of showcase how to gear her when you first get her and how to kind of prepare and use her when you first get her on your account, because she's actually a really good champion for free-to-play players, especially if you have yet to pull a decent speed boost champion to that point. That's actually kind of what we're going to talk about today, is speed boosting. Now, I want to actually go into the index here, and we're going to talk about one of the most appreciated heroes, champions in Raid Shadow Legends. Everybody talks about this guy. You've probably seen a million guides on him, Apothecary. One of the best characters in this game. And you can see he's got the base speed of 106 when he gets to level 60. He's got a pretty good kit, but the most talked about ability on him is his Boon of Speed, which is on a 3-turn cooldown once you get him booked, and it gives a 30% increase to speed on all allies for 2 turns, and also fills their turn meter by 15%. It's an amazing ability. This guy is considered one of the best characters in the game, but the thing I kind of wanted to talk about while we're looking at that skill is there's actually a rare champion in this game that you can farm literally within the first couple days you're playing the game that is kind of a budget version of Apothecary, and it's going to help your account out quite a bit. Now, obviously when you're doing the campaign, I've talked about it before, there's a couple spots you need to go, like say your first week you're on easy. We're on brutal campaign now on this account, but let's say you're on, starting that campaign at first. The Durham Forest, there's Spirit Host, who I've done another video on this where we talked about the importance of getting Spirit Host and War Maiden very early on, and you kind of want to grab her if you can, just because she has an all speed aura that is very useful early in the game, and especially in the arena. If any kind of extra speed boost you can give yourself is always going to help early on. And then of course you go to the Deadlands and you have War Maiden, who mainly for her Crumbling Blast ability you want the defense down. That's going to be so helpful in so many areas of the game. So usually we only talk about those two champions when you're on a free-to-play, or just in general when you're starting a new account. But okay, I don't have it unlocked here yet. Let's just drop back to hard. But if you come to stage 12, Brimstone Path, there is this Demon Spawn rare, Diabolist. And this is the character that you really want to farm the first couple days you're in the game. You get to that stage 12, and spend a couple runs trying to get this champion. I usually farm 12-3 on my main account, and then on this account I haven't quite got there yet, but in any given night farming 12-3, I'll usually get her to drop at least once or twice. So it seems she has a pretty solid drop rate. And why do we want to get Diabolist? Well, because she's basically a budget Apothecary. Let's take a look at her kit, and then I'll kind of show you how I have her set up so far. Keep in mind, we're only 30 days in on this account, so the gear's not great, the skills aren't great, the masteries aren't built up. We don't really have too many books yet on her. So she's got a pretty simple kit. Her first ability is Torment. Attacks one enemy with a 10% chance of placing a sleep debuff for 1 turn. Nothing really that special, and it's really not worth building accuracy just to get that sleep debuff. It's just not that spectacular of an ability. She's not going to hit very hard. This is not what we're here for. Electric Storm is the first reason we are here for, and you'll notice this looks a little bit familiar. So attacks all enemies and places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Now, this will be on a 3-turn cooldown once you get her booked up a little bit. This is basically the same ability Apothecary has. The only difference with his is he does what she does, but does it in 1 ability. Unfortunately for her, it is in 2 abilities, but early on in the game, that's really not going to matter for you. It's something that you really are going to benefit from quite a bit. And if you use her in the arena on auto, she will use this ability as her first attack, which means you can have her go first or second and give you that 30% speed buff, which is going to help the rest of your champions for that battle, because most of the battles, let's be honest, aren't going to last much longer than 2 turns. So that's one of the reasons you want to grab her right away. Her other ability, the A3, is Positive Charge. Now, unfortunately, this is on a longer cooldown. You can get it down to 4 turns, but it fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%. Now, here's the cool thing about this that actually Apothecary doesn't have. Once you get her to 3 stars ascended, it actually decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 15%. So that's pretty cool. Not only are you boosting your own turn meter, you're decreasing the turn meter of the enemies. And again, this can be pretty good in the arena for you. It can be really good in dungeons as well. So a lot of people use Apothecary all over the place. He's good in arena, he's good in dungeons, he's good in faction wars. Same thing with Diabolist. And whereas with Apothecary, you may not pull an Apothecary for 6 months. You might get really lucky and get one in the first couple weeks, but most of the people I know haven't pulled an Apothecary yet, or they didn't get one until later on. This is literally a champion that does almost the exact same thing he does, with a little bit of a almost better ability in this decreased turn meter of all enemies. You can farm her within the first couple days you're in the game, and it's really easy to build her up because you can farm her on that stage. You can put a bunch of books on her, and she's just a great champion. Now, we haven't really done much Masteries here. I haven't had much time to do Minotaur on this account yet, except for my top 5 characters that I'm using for Clan Boss. But you're kind of want to just really going to go simple on this one. You're going to want to go down, take anything that's going to increase your speed or turn meter with her, and also the accuracy. So she's landing, that reduced turn meter and landing the sleep sometimes. Like I said, that A1's really not something you're going to focus on. And then over here on offense, you can go defense tree too, but we're probably just going to go down the standard, pick up the crit rate, the crit damage, and then just some of the general abilities that'll help us out in the dungeons. But overall, just a really, really solid champion that you can use pretty much anywhere in this game. So let's take a look at the artifacts real quick. We're going to kind of show you guys what we have on her. So we have basically just a straight up speed set. And again, since this account's only about 29 days in, we don't really have gear that's amazing just yet. So we are just looking at some basic speed gear that came mostly from login rewards, and also we got a couple pieces in the dragon. And the rest of this we just farmed up on the brutal boss on stage 6. So we've got the speed boots on her, which we were fortunate enough to get the drop. We've got those leveled to 14. We've got just a chest here that's kind of just attack. We really have that on there just to get the 2-piece set bonus. I've got some gauntlets with a little bit of speed. The weapon does not have speed, unfortunately. The helmet does, and then our shield does not. So we still have a lot of room to put some more speed into this build, but if you look at her total stats already, even on this early account, we've already got her running at 181 speed. And that's going to be that 12% bonus we get from each speed set, plus those couple of pieces that hit speed and the speed boots. So this is why I always say it's important when you're first starting your account, don't be wasting time going into dungeons trying to get gear, because it's going to be too randomized. You want to make sure you're getting to that hard or brutal campaign as quickly as you can, and then you want to farm stage 6 for speed gear, and you want to farm stage 8 for lifesteal gear. Early in the game, even your first month or two, you don't even really want to be worried about dungeons. You're going to want to go to that stage 6, stage 8, build up your speed gear, build up your lifesteal gear. And just kind of show you with, so I did mention we're going to get High Katoon tomorrow. We've got some actually decent speed pieces we've already rolled. These are actually going to go right onto High Katoon, so that when we get her, she's already going to have a really good speed number. And we're just going to throw her right into our arena lead and use her kind of in conjunction with Diabolist to just make our team really, really fast. So like I said, this is basically a budget Apothecary. You'll be able to use her all over the place. I don't think we can rate her yet because we don't have her at 5 stars, but these are pretty decent. Fire Knight, yeah, she would be kind of weak in the Fire Knight just because she doesn't have a multi-hit, but if you're using her to speed boost, you could probably get some mileage out of her. But early on in the game, your first couple months, like I said, guaranteed champion you can get from stage 12. Very easy to book her up, farming duplicates off of stage 12. And it's going to help your account out immensely if you get this champion within that first couple days you're playing and start working on her. She's definitely worth taking to 5, maybe even 6 stars, depending on how long it takes you to get a good speed boosting support champion. So that is Diabolist, and as I said, one of the better rares in this game, and certainly a rare you want to be focusing on getting the first couple days you are playing on your raid account. Also along with War Maiden. She's usually the one everybody goes for first, and then your Spirit Host as well. So when I started this account right around Christmas, those were the first 3 characters I really went after. Also Greybeard is also another rare you can get early on. But yeah, Diabolist, super important champion to get early on. She's going to serve you well through a lot of the game, and just kind of wanted to showcase her a little bit, 'cause she's often overlooked when people are talking about characters to farm from the campaign early in the game, and I think you'll be doing yourself a big favor if you go after her and try to get her as early as you can on your account, and then just farm up some general speed gear for her. Make sure she's fast enough to take advantage of this A2 and A3 when she's in the dungeons in the arena, and I think it's going to do pretty well for you. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Just wanted to do this little quick look at Diabolist for the free-to-play account. We'll be getting into some more free-to-play content in the next couple of weeks, so looking forward to that. As always, if you guys have any questions about anything in the video, feel free to leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer those in the comments. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you again next time.